Hey guys, Braden with Outdoor Mainly, bringing you what's in my get-home bag. So recently I got a job that is across a pretty major river here in the U.S. and I've had some pretty interesting challenges when it comes to making my get-home bag and exactly what to put in it. And so I'm going to kind of show you guys kind of a hybrid video today. In another video, I'm going to do a review on this Gray Ghost Gear Stealth Operator Pack, but I'm also going to give you my EDC of what I do every day and also what is in my normal get-home bag. Now realize what's in this bag changes from day to day because of the nature of my job. I typically have to take my backpack with me because I move around quite a bit. So I need to make sure that I have it next to me at all times. And there's various reasons why, but just sufficeth to say that I have some special considerations when it comes to my get-home bag. But I'll give you guys some tips, some tricks, some pointers that I have experienced when using these get-home bags. And yeah, so let's kind of jump into it. So there's multiple levels to general preparedness, and a key emphasis on general being just everyday average preparedness. Now, the preparedness that I'm going to show you here is going to be for a lot more serious of a situation, branching into more average everyday kind of situations. But that's what your EDC is for. So let's kind of pull this aside here, and I'll kind of show you what's going on with the EDC. So I guess I'll take these off for you guys to show you. So I usually just have a watch I don't care about. Since I have a pretty physically demanding job, I need to bust up watches. So this is like one of those $10 Casios. I have a pretty nice G-Shock, as well as one of the NITECORE all-military watches, the black ones, with the barometer, the compass, and everything. And so I typically don't try to wear that because I don't want it to get scratched. So I'll just wear this Casio Illuminator, blue, just, I don't know, why not? I just have like another band I wear on my other wrist. I usually carry a knife with me. Today it just so happens to be the Spyderco Salt 1. I like this because it's serrated. It can cut the really, really, really thick zip ties. And so that's why I've been carrying this guy. I also carry a multi-tool. Today it's the Leatherman Juice C2. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the S2. I don't really use the scissors a ton. My knives are typically sharp enough to where I won't have to need scissors, but I find the corkscrew to actually be a lot more useful. Not that I drink wine or need for more corks. You can just undo knots. You can get into places with the corkscrew that you can with you can't necessarily do with the other tools that are found on the other Leathermans. And it's a great size. I mean, this has everything I need. I don't really need huge pliers. I just need a set of pliers, some screwdrivers, and that's exactly what it is. Car keys, just average car keys, house key. I've been carrying OC spray as of lately. Sometimes I need to go into a federal building where I can't take my concealed carry, so I'll take this OC spray with me because it doesn't clearly state that I need to leave this outside on some buildings, so I'll take this. And this is the Saber Red. This stuff works really well. I've tried it 2 times on myself, and it has been pretty bad each time. Obviously, like your wallet. Another thing I usually carry on me at all times is a good hat. I try to keep the hat really minimalist. I don't want it to attract attention. This does have room for a patch, so I can kind of accessorize it when I'm bored. But it's just a hat. It is a 511 hat, so I kind of splurged a little bit on that, and that kind of breaks that cardinal rule. But I still try to keep it minimalist. I usually don't wear multicam or anything that would designate me as someone of any special interest or has any significant skill advantage for other people. So I try to keep everything very low key as I can. There's going to be some things that you can't really change. My other thing that I typically always carry is my concealed carry. I usually just have a Glock 27, and it's usually hot. It is safe now. So I typically have my Glock 27, and I usually don't carry a spare mag on me. Just like I said, my work is a very physical thing, and I can't really have a ton of stuff on me. So that, and then just my cell phone. No big deal. Okay? So that's what I'll wear. My choice in footwear as well is kind of crucial. I use these Solomon. These are the Solomon 3s, the ones for the dirt and mud and junk. These are kind of what they look like. Solomon ones. Normally, I would black out the reflectors on these, but I haven't actually done that yet. I probably should, just so they're not as reflective as they need to be, because these ones have those things for running. So, okay, so that's typically what I have on me every day, and that's usually without fail. So keeping that in mind, that's just going to be for average tasks. Obviously, aside from this, the firearm, everything else is just going to be for normal, mundane, everyday things. I'm going to use it quite a bit, and it should, work for me pretty well. I usually have a flashlight on me too, but I'm going to tell you why that's not on me right now. So moving this aside, this is when I get into my get-home bag. So my get-home bag, I tried to keep it as low-key as I could again, but the operator pack, the stealth operator pack that was made available to me at a highly discounted rate, thankfully, was in this Cryptek Typhoon. It was either this or multicam, and multicam I do not want, because that is breaking the number one cardinal rule of the gray man approach. Now, the gray man approach, if you don't know, is essentially the thought process that looking like you're someone who has nothing will essentially render you similar to a vagrant or homeless person, therefore no one should mess with you. That can always backfire, because you might be a target due to if you're too run down looking. People might think you're weak, people might think you're easy to take advantage of, and they can just for the sake of violence, come and do what they will. So this is the one I opted to get. This Typhoon, it's pretty decent. I've asked a few people that aren't really into the industry, and I've asked them, what do you think this is? They just said, oh, it just looks like a JanSport, something or other. So that is exactly the look that I want to get. So let me kind of break it down for you. On the external of it, it doesn't have anything that delineates it from a tactical pack or, just a normal backpack, aside from this bracelet. And this is here because I was wearing this, but I took it off because I was working on something. I usually don't throw it on the top. I should put it inside the pack, because I don't want this to be flapping around. This kind of screams preparedness, kind of, in a way. And I am pretty sensitive to it. I try to be as low-key as I can. So this is kind of, I just am straight up showing you guys what I got home with. So this will usually not be here, but it's just a backpack, right? So let's dive into it. So the front zipper here, it's just like I said, normal backpack. There's a few things I carry, and there's a few reasons why. This right here is a gel pen. This can write on any surface. This can write on cinder block too, and that's for leaving messages for people. My wife works on one side of the river. I work on the other side of the river. If I go and look for her where her place of employment's at, let's just say an EMP attack went down, and I need to cross the river, get to her, I might need to leave a message and say, hey, I came and looked for you. You weren't here. I went home. Therefore, she knows that's what I did. I don't necessarily have to leave my name. She knows what to expect as far as, penmanship. She knows my handwriting. But she's also going to know that who else would come there and look for her. Who else would be that considerably minded to go and do that. Plus, no one else at her work knows my name, so that I'll just write my name. No big deal. So having this or like a Sharpie is a great tool. I have another Sharpie in here, but just having a few pens, just leaving notes and things like that will always be helpful. As well, these also make very deadly alternative weapons if you need them. If you're ever searched and weapons are confiscated, you can always use these in a pinch. So make sure you get a nice strong plastic one. So I'll usually carry a pen or two. This one's just another pen. This one's one of the Fisher Space pens, whatever. Another thing you always want to carry, obviously, a lighter. And you're going to see a ton of redundancy with this. I have like 8 lighters in my bag, okay? So just another lighter in the front, just so I can get to it real easy, light something on fire if I need to for diversion or what have you. Now this is the flashlight I usually have on me. This is the Phoenix PD35. This one goes up to like 850 lumens. And I have one of the rechargeable Panasonic 18650s in it. And I have a few of those in here. And they last a lot longer than the individual what do you call those things? CR123s. These last a lot longer, plus I can just recharge them. I have one of those NITECORE rechargers. I'll throw a link right up here to what I'm talking about. Anyhow, so I usually run these guys just that way, you know, I don't feel bad running these things all the time. But I want to use a really powerful light that has multiple modes. So this one has, like I said, it goes up to 850 lumens. So I can use low light for keeping low. This one's, I think, 7 lumens. And then, like I said, it goes up to 850. So I can make signals and spotlights across where I need to. If I need to get rescued, if I need to do whatever it takes, I can get someone's attention with it. Or if I just need enough light to figure out, you know, reading a map, reading a small road sign without attracting a lot of attention, this fits that role. And it's a good size. The whole thing is IPX8 rated, so it's definitely waterproof. It's definitely going to be an advantage to, you know, have in your kit. And it's also strong enough and made out of that nice 70-75 aluminum for striking and using as an impact weapon. So that's my flashlight I usually carry. I have a few more. Let's see what else is in here. So there's nothing else in there. There's one zipper right here in the Gray Ghost Stealth Operator pack. Like I said, I'll do a review separately on this pack. Now this is also just more stuff that I carry every day. Phone charger. Just a phone charger, you know. Here's the box that goes with it. It's just an iPhone charger. I'll have to put this all back, I guess. Okay, so this is a huge one. Not a lot of people think of this. So let's say an EMP thing went down, okay? And let's say that, so all your cell phone towers are down. Or maybe a volcano blew up and all your cell phone towers are going to be clogged just due to ash or whatever the case. There's a lot of reasons to have a notebook full of your personal information. I, for one, do not know everyone's cell phone numbers. I don't know everyone's phone numbers like I did when I was growing up. So... because we didn't have cell phones, you know, so we just called everyone at their house. So this is a Right in the Rain survival book. And this one just has, you know, there's a few, these printed cards on the front and the back. They just have some survival and some communication tips. And these are just, you know, laminated, very thick pieces that you can't really write on. This just gives you some more survival tips. These are just, you know, everything that's pretty common with ESE. This one right here is an overlay to go over a map, in addition to just, you know, standard static compass. And we're also going to have some scaling tools in addition to some metric scaling. I've also put a few traps on here. I've drawn some out just in case I forget what exactly I need to make. So that way I have all the resources right here and I don't need to remember and possibly put myself in a position where I might be at a disadvantage. Some solar stills, more traps. Here's some recipes for some breads that I've made, some other ideas that I've had. These are some of the ham radio frequencies from my area. These are different steps when you're eating plants. These are some of the steps you want to take when you don't remember what exactly the plant, or you don't know what kind of plant it is, so those are the steps you'd take to see if it's edible or not. So just having a list of everything that you would need in case you don't have electricity to reference any of the things you necessarily can't remember on everyday basis, like maybe your relative's house that's close to you. Maybe you don't remember their address. Having that address is going to be potentially life-saving because you might come across a road map or what have you. So a few more things I have in here. I have some electric tape. I use this a lot for first aid, surprisingly, because it's so stretchy. It can really hold down bandages well, and I just have this. And you can also make markings with this. You can make tags. You can go tag a few things, and you can tell, you know, someone else that you're planning an escape route with, or that you're planning just preparedness with. Hey, look for electrical tape flags. That's what I'm going to leave, so you can follow those to me. That would be a good way to mark. I also have, and like I said, I use this every day too, so it's multifunction. Some Gorilla Glue. I also have, geez, I'm hiking this backpack way down here. Let's see what else I got in here. Looks like I got some nail clippers. I got some nail clippers. And I also got the other 18650 fully charged battery. I usually rotate it in my flashlight when they die, so I make sure I'm always charged up. That's about it for that pocket. Now, the interesting thing... Alright, so while I put this away, the interesting thing about this Grey Ghost Stealth Operator Pack is that it has a compartment that is very hard to find as far as finding someone's concealed carry. If you can't necessarily have it on you, either due to the weather, clothing restrictions, or you're just trying to keep as low-key as possible, there is a pocket behind the zippered pocket that has Velcro and is lined with Velcro all on the inside, female Velcro, and it has a pocket for your firearm. You can stick it in there and it will retain it in the upright position, so you can reach in there and practice drawing that way. That's behind this main pocket here, so it definitely has an advantage as far as that. You can get this pack in many other colors, but I'll cover that in the review of the actual pack. So let's kind of dive into the main portion of the pack. This is where I keep most of the main stuff. I try not to keep it too packed full of goodies, just solely for weight reasons. I try to keep it down, but I try to keep as much as I can in there and keep a lot of multi-function items. Like I said, this isn't a bug-out bag. This is a get-home bag. This is for me to essentially pick up and for this to get me home back to more supplies, or to a place with more supplies. That is all this is. I do not intend by any means to live out of this bag in any fashion. This bag is mainly to help me subsist for a time and get on with it. So when I open it, I'm going to point out a few things. So you will see a schmog. That schmog is in there for a few reasons. Obviously, the schmog has tons of purposes, but it's in there on top of everything so that if I need to open this bag and people are looking around me, I can reach in and grab whatever I need to do, but they don't know what's all in there. To them, it could just be one big blanket. But actually, I have a whole plethora of items in there. So keeping a covering could perhaps be a very advantageous thing for you to do, in addition to, obviously, the thousands of uses that a schmog has. So obviously a water bottle to keep water with. I'm just about out. You should probably refill it after the day. Keep some road flares. These can be used as distractions. Maybe there's a mob running around where I'm trying to cross. I need to light some road flares, place them in strategic positions, and run away so that they get attracted by it, run over there. Or maybe I perhaps have to signal someone. Maybe I tell them, hey, look for a road flare. But that's what these are for. I also have some SOS. These are Department of Defense Coast Guard sea rations, survival food. This has like, oh my gosh, how many calories? This is like on lifeboats and stuff, but it's essentially, let's see what we got here. 400 calories times 9, so there's 3,600 calories in here, and it's just seriously like a brick of stuff. It is the worst tasting thing, but it will keep you alive. So, got that. Just a few snacks left over from the day. Fiber One, Slim Jim. A tourniquet. I usually keep this on the top of my bag so I can unzip it, grab it right away. This is the military style tourniquet, and this thing is awesome. I hope I never have to use it, but if I do, I'm glad I have it. Just my glasses. No big deal. First aid kit. Oh, wait, hold on. Got another snack floating around in there. Just another granola bar. So this first aid kit is pretty comprehensive. I've detailed it in other videos, but I'm just going to break it down for you real quick what's in here. Obviously, you can see 2 lighters. There's a few MRE crackers. There's some other MRE items in here. Neosporin, some duct tape rolls, some more lighters, some of those N95 masks, lots of latex gloves, tons and tons of gauze, toilet paper, some Israeli bandages, some Band-Aids, some more tape, some condoms, some baby wipes, some, just those random little piddly things in MREs. There's chapstick, there's other, Tylenol, Imodium, everything you can think of that you would need. I try to keep this in here. I'll break this down one day and I'll put this into its own video, but have everything in a nice bag. I try to make sure this is as waterproof as I can get it, so I'll probably buy another Ziploc bag pretty soon because this one's looking pretty worn, because if I get drenched in rain, I don't want this to get soaked through, because that would really affect the bandages and the gauze inside of there. Now that is solely medical and fire. That is all that is. There's nothing else in there. There's a little bit of food, but aside from that, that's all it is. A couple other things I have. This is just a life straw. This is the same thing as the life straw. This is the Endure Survival straw. This one's really cheap. This one's like $7, so it's kind of, super affordable. You can carry these everywhere. I don't have to worry about allocating a ton of money to it, but it's the same premise. You unscrew this end, you pop the cap off, you can drink whatever water you want. I feel like this is a lot easier than carrying with me, anything else really, because this will last me a lot longer than tabs would, and there's plenty of water where I am. I mean, I literally have to cross a river that's almost about a mile to about half a mile wide, so this will work. This is the fire cord. This is that 550 cord with the fire wick in the middle of it. Just carry a little bunch of it, I've been using it from time to time. Another lighter, because enough fire is never a bad thing. This is the Clip Survival Lighter by Ultimate Survival Technologies. I reviewed that. Here's some more MRE items. Just some napkins, some other things. I try to save them all. Here's some peanut butter from an MRE. Here's one of those CRKT spork spoon things. Here's one of the CRKT Stokes Fire and Compass accessories. So essentially what this is it has a compass on it. This is supposed to feed onto a paracord bracelet, but you can also pull this guy out, and then you have a ferrocium rod. You can strike it after you get the I'd usually hit this with my knife, but after you get the paint off of the ferrocium, you can strike it. Anyways, it's kind of striking. It's just hard to see. So keep that in there. And then in this pocket, I keep my spare magazine with the belt attachment. So if I do need to go, on the run, I can just throw this on my belt, put my shirt over it, and that way it's there. During my work, I can't really be carrying all this crap on my belt, so I'll just keep it in here. Sometimes during work, I'll keep my firearm in there and my spare magazine in the secret pocket. That way I won't, I can go and work a lot more efficiently and not have to worry about anyone knowing that I'm carrying at work. And the last really important thing is a headlamp. This is my other flashlight too. This is one of the Atom 360 headlamps. This is the Atom little 4.7's flashlight. And this has multiple modes. But yeah, this is the 360's headlamp, so you can spin it whichever way you want. And it'll spin that way. And it's a great little piece of kit. And that way I always have a headlamp too, because sometimes when you're trying to do a very, simple task and you have to keep the flashlight in your mouth, it is very hard. Except for one more thing that I neglected to forget. That's one of the most important things, ham radio. This is the Baofeng UV5R E+. It's basically the same thing as the UV5R. But this way I can communicate with other, especially if the cell network goes down. I can talk to people and I can communicate. I can ask them, hey, call 911 here, or what's the conditions like, or get the situation, essentially with this. I know that if there is an EMP, this won't work. But if all the cell networks are clogged, which is a more likely scenario given disaster happening or some sort of anything else, the ham networks won't be clogged. So I usually try to keep this on me, obviously keep this charged up. Try to keep this on the frequencies that are relevant to your area, and always be up on your ham communication skills. So that is actually the end of everything. There's one more thing though. This is all Benadryl and Tylenol. I usually have a lot of this because I get bad allergies out here. So Benadryl and Tylenol. But yeah, aside from that, that's it. I don't think I'm gonna require that much to get home. I mean, the whole point of this is for me to essentially just run home. I mean, I am really not going to be doing anything else aside from trying to get home. So I'm not planning on camping, but if I have to, I'll figure it out. There are other, skills, things you can practice, bushcraft, lighting fires and everything that you can practice to make staying the night under a bridge or in a spot that no one's going to look for you. There are skills you can practice that'll make that a lot less harsh on your body and your mind. But I'm not planning on that. I have a very specific path I'm going to take. I have a few different contingency plans. If A happens, I'm going to do B. If B happens, I'm going to do C. And my wife has the same situation. She still has her contingencies, and they're all contingent upon each other. So after my work, I'm going to go down to her place of employment, check if she's there. We're going to meet at a very specific place. If we can't meet at that place, we're going to go meet at another place. If she's not there or has not left any sort of markings saying otherwise where she would be, we are to go meet back home. So make plans with your loved ones. Try to incorporate your children. Try to incorporate everyone, and try to make sure you plan for all the most probable disasters. Even though the nature of planning for disaster is kind of oxymoron, you should still at least be equipped with the knowledge of your area and the knowledge of what you should do in any given event as to what's the next step, instead of just freezing and moving with the crowd of people. Because if you do that, there will be problems. And you can see that anywhere else in the world. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Like I said, I'll do a couple more reviews of the specific items I just pulled out. And yeah, Bring With Outdoor Man out.